tell me your name and how long you've been with the Atlanta Police Department and what zone you work in.
My name is Sharita Thomas. I've been with Atlanta Police Department for 3 years, and I'm with Zone 5 Evening Watch.
Okay. So there's a video that has gone viral, and it shows you giving a pair of shoes to a homeless guy. Tell me about that day.
Well, I was actually working the EJ that morning, but a day prior to, I was working my beat and I saw a homeless man in the parking lot with no shoes, or his shoes either damaged. So I asked him if he would be still here when I come back. I'm gonna go and grab a pair of shoes for him. So I actually called my coworker that lives in the area, and I went to pick up the shoes and a pair of socks. And when I came back, the mail was gone. So I kept the shoes in my trunk and I rode around the area just to make sure that he was nowhere to be. Well, I really wanted to make sure I found the mail to get him the shoes, but he was nowhere to be found. So the next day I went to work my EJ at Kroger, and I saw this male walking up with no shoes on. So I stated to him, like, sir, I have a pair of shoes in my trunk. Would you like them? I have some socks as well, because he didn't have any socks on either. So he walked with me to my vehicle and I gave him the shoes. And he sat down and put the shoes on. And I just, honestly, like, I'm a sneakerhead. I love sneakers, so from time to time, I just put shoes in my trunk to give to people that I may see that may need them. Mm-hmm. It's never a time that I don't think about others due to the fact I haven't always been able to give.
Mm. It's okay. That's the humanity that we're looking at.
So now that I'm able to, I just like to help.
Let me get myself together now, because I ain't supposed to be crying. I'm the Oprah in this thing right now. But this is the stuff that people don't see about police. They don't know that you're just as human as the next person, and that you have feelings and emotions, and that you care beyond arresting people and doing investigations and things like that. This is why this story is so important. So, you okay?
Yeah. I'm just to the point where, like, I do stuff like this all the time, and I never did this to be acknowledged.
Yes.
I didn't expect this at all. Yeah. So it's a surprise that it's going as big as it is.
So when did you learn that you had been filmed?
This actually happened around April. It's been a couple of months ago, and I saw it like on another social media story. Mm-hmm. So at that time, like, oh, somebody recorded me and they had posted it, but all I did was send it to my lieutenant at the time, was Lieutenant Wofolk, and we just laughed about it and, like, just left it alone. We didn't think anything else about it. So when it came back up again, it surprised me that it even came to another social media site and it ended up going viral, because we had already saw it prior. So, like, it's very unexpected, very unexpected.
Mm-hmm. So how did you know this time around, how did you know that it had gone viral again?
I started receiving text messages and alerts to my social media. My friend from Zone 5, she actually sent me a text, was like, girl, you famous, you going viral. So I responded back, like, viral with question marks, like, what are you talking about? So she sent me the video to my DM on social media, and I was like, oh, wow. Like, no, I did not expect this at all. Like, this can't be that. And that's how I end up. Like, I was just so surprised, mouth drop. I just didn't expect this at all, because it's something that I don't mind doing. I just, like I said, I do it all the time. It's nothing I expected. I didn't expect this at all.
So, what were you doing before you became a police officer?
I worked at the Atlanta City Jail 3 or 4 years before we ended up switching over. It was a lot of us, we switched over to become police officers. And we dealt with a lot of homeless people inside the jail. So, like, the same ones that we dealt with in the jail, we deal with on the streets as well. And I just like helping people. I try to help people then. I try to do as much as I can. So I just enjoy helping people.
So it sounds like the experience that you had working in corrections with the jail kind of helped prepare you for what you might see on the streets. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
So in what ways do you think that experience working in the jail?
As far as with hands-on dealing with people who having mental health issues, we deal with them hands-on. It's different from a person who never dealt with a person who's going through mental health issues. We know how to deal with them hands-on, and it allows us to deal with them on the streets the same exact way, but our patience level is totally different because we know that it takes time. They don't have control over how they're dealing with it because they're not having their meds. So instead of us going in, think we got to do hands-on. Sometimes you may have to restrain due to, you not knowing how long they haven't had their meds, but it just gives us a different outlook when we deal with them hands-on inside of a jail. And now we know how to we have to deal with them on the streets. It's just like we have more of I would say patience, but at the same time, we have a rapport with them because we done dealt with them prior to. And sometimes it takes that for them to listen because they feel like you really care. Not that you just saying anything to them to make them do what you're asking. So
you see some of the same people that you saw in jail on the streets.
Yes,
on your
ma'am.
beat now.
Mm-hmm.
Do they recognize you?
They do. They just be like, oh, you done switched over. But yeah, it's like a nice thing because they know like I'm here to help. Like if I can help in any way, I don't mind. I don't mind buying a meal or two, or if I keep shoes, clothes. Sometimes I bring clothes. You just never know, so I just have those items with me.
What is your family and your work colleagues saying about all this attention you're getting from a deed that, I mean, it's normal for you, but now you're technically you've gone viral. So what are your people saying about this?
Like, well, they know like this is something I have always did. It's like, well, at least you're being acknowledged for something that you have always done. But it's a few of us in my zone that we all do the same exact thing. Like they give out things, they give out clothing. It's just like it's a few of us that we all came from the jail and we're here and we all do the same exact thing. It's just like a lot of things just don't get caught on camera. I'm sure there's a lot of officers that does the same exact thing, but they haven't been videoed or it haven't came up. But they just like, you just being who you are, you've been doing this, and now you just being acknowledged for what you enjoy doing, and it doesn't bother you to do it.
What do you want the public to know about officers like yourself and the other ones that you've mentioned? What do you want them to know about you?
I enjoy doing my job every day. I don't come out here to arrest people, to hurt people. I come out here to help. If anything, I would like to help versus hurt anyone. And there's a lot of us that's out here like that. Sometimes we have to do our jobs, but at the end of the day, it's more good officers out here than it is bad. And we all just hope that we are able to change the viewing of our department, because there's a lot of us out here that does not mind helping people and doing things to help people, just to let them know like all seas are not bad. And we enjoy what we do every day.
What do you tell, being caught on camera doing something good, just like we've seen folks being caught on camera doing things that are not so good, what's the message about when you're out in public that you want to remind your colleagues?
Always react as if you are being watched, because you never know. Before you respond, always think. Like never react, and then you have to never react before thinking. I always think. You always have to think. Sometimes we don't have time to think, but just respond as if you would. Act as if that's your family member. Never react, because my thing is with this job, you have to be mindful. If you're having issues, you have to deal with those outside issues, because you can't come to work and deal with the things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis and try to focus on our job and what you're dealing with on the outside. So like, if you can't come with a clear mind, I feel like you'll be great, but if you got a lot going on, you have to take that time off and just deal with your outside issues before you can come to work. Mm-hmm. But just respond.
Because at the end of the day, you guys are always being watched.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Anything else y'all think we need to add to that? I think it was profound.
So are you from Georgia? Can you tell us more about that? And also, you said you kind of feel like you relate to a lot of these people that are like dealing with, you know, these unfortunate circumstances. Like, is there like a family member or someone close to you that has been through something like that? Or tell us about you and why you feel so connected to them.
Well, I was actually born in Chicago, but I was raised here. I've been here since I was a baby, so pretty much I'm from here. I was raised in Thomasville, moved from Thomasville to Perry Homes. So I do have an aunt that's in the streets.
I just want to come out with you right now because I understand.
I see her. I hug her, but the contact with officers and she's on the street, I just try to help. Because like she's there because she want to be, not because she has to.
Right. I see how that connects with you and why you're so compassionate.
So that's why I just try to help when I can. Because they're someone's family member. And I'm sure they out there because they want to be, not because they have to be.
Right.
And like,
it's hard.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being a shining light out there, representing HIV. The world, certainly we can't get enough of people like you. I'm so glad the story went viral because we need people to see the humanity of you guys, you know, and to know that it's the story I'm always trying to tell, that not every officer is bad. Obviously, the majority are actually very good, and they actually are compassionate, and they actually care about the community they serve. Right. So that's always the story we're trying to push out, and you're just a shining example of what that looks like. Without looking for applause, without looking for attention, you're just out there doing your thing, caring about people. So I can't thank you enough for that. And thank you for coming in. Is there anything else you want to add before we close this out?
Just know, I didn't do this for the attention that I'm receiving. I was just being kind and just doing what I enjoy doing, and just helping people who really is in need.